Okay. Oh. Whoa. Okie dokie. Well, now I am present and I have switched over to the game. So I'm going to take that suggestion from you, King Thunder, real quick, and I'm going to write that down. Because I just realized it's 4 o'clock. And 4 o'clock, I take that minute, that hardline minute, just really seriously. Sorry. Okay, You Are Dead, Total Distortion. I want to check that out. Because creative game over screens, they're not something that happens very often. And for when I archive this thing, welcome back anyone who is watching to my playthrough of Armored Core on PS1. And I just went blank on everything else I was going to say. But yeah, that's par for the course. I have done a bit of tweaking in the background. Not quite a heavyweight yet, but I do have treads. One moment. Okay. Yes, sorry, had to write things down. I'm trying to keep a pen and paper on me at all times. I could probably do the note-taking thing a little better if I got my phone out, but whatever. Moving on. Yeah, and also due to prior heating issues, I am simultaneously streaming and recording at a lower clock speed on my PC, and it's not choking, so I think I'm going to go with that for a little bit more survivability. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, I meant to message you on that, King Thunder. I was, I'm stammering for words. Huh, good start. Yeah, good to see you got where you needed to go safely. Ah. Well, since I'm actually sort of awake this time, I figure I'll go on ahead and pluck right away. See if I can rail a little further into this. Let's see. But a quick peek at the brief changes I did to this. So yeah. Frame Gride. I haven't checked out a lot more of that yet, but let's just say I'm really, really enthusiastic about getting a Dreamcast, which will probably happen way... my paychecks are lining up. I'm predicting probably early next year. I'll probably look into getting a modded Dreamcast. But yeah. Let's see. But the changes to this Armored Core for anyone who watches this on YouTube... Wow, I haven't played much of this throughout the week. Let's see. That doesn't list the parts. But yeah. Long story short, changes, chain guns on the shoulder, treads, and was that it? Yeah, that's about it. But it does seem to move a little bit better. Oh, the other thing, right. A wide and shallow FCS. Because these chain guns have such a small box. Let's see. So yeah, on to the mission real quick, and then I'll get back to other things. Let's see. Gas exposure. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Alright. Okay. This mission is extremely dangerous. A problem has occurred at one of the ruins from the old generation, namely, a military facility. This facility was used to develop chemical weapons, and it seems that someone has secretly entered and tampered with the control panels. It is now full of some kind of gas. Oh, I knew it. The gas corrodes metal, so naturally your AC will take damage. Unluckily, all of the equipment within the base is resistant to the gas, so the defense mechanisms are operating. Of the 5 control panels, only one appears to be working. Even so, just destroy all of them. We will provide the detonation devices. Just plant them on all 5 panels. I have a feeling this mission's going to be run in, find the panels, and end it quickly. Oh. That's a good point you bring up, that treads would probably be a bad idea. Unfortunately, I sold my old legs because of money constraints carried over from the last stream. So I think I'm going to switch missions and hope that I can make it into the black. I did save this onto an alternate save file. Okay. EERC. Okay. Several armed MTs have broken into a resource reclamation plant owned by the committee. They are probably terrorists employed by those who want to distort our activities. We have taken out several MTs, but with heavy damage, so we are asking the Ravens for help. We have closed the gates within the plant to push them gradually into a large blast furnace in the center. We want you to pound them there. Naturally, the blast furnace is very hot. Yes, that is a blast furnace. I would wager it's doing its job. If you fall, your AC cannot survive. Making good use of the geography will be the key to battle. Good luck. I'm beginning to think I was a bit premature in getting those tank legs, to be fair. Oh boy. Just jumped up on some agility missions and literally cut the legs out from under myself. Okay.
Main system engaging.
Thankfully, though, overheating isn't an issue in this game. Don't have that problem until 2. Oh, and the first thing I do is fall off of a ledge. Let's see. Can I cheese it? Oh, good. Is that one? Okay, careful. So, while I'm thinking about how best to approach this without dying a horrible, agonizing death, I want to mention a little minor bit of news yesterday. The SNES Classic launch. Oh, man. I mean, I've been wanting to get an SNES for a while. Like, just a legit SNES. Robot Alchemic Drive. Okay, thanks for pointing that out. I'm going to check that out, because I was under the impression that Robot Alchemic Drive did not get a US release, but that's what I get for not doing enough of my research. But yeah, oh, whoa, land carefully. But yeah, the SNES Classic, I've been wanting to get an SNES for a while, and for whatever reason, money has been tight enough where I couldn't get an SNES and more than like a game or two, so I've been putting it off for a while, so nice to see the whole thing about the Classic. Predictably, they sold out almost immediately. I was kind of lucky to actually get one. Sadly, I probably won't be playing much of it on stream because Nintendo are jerks about streaming. Robot Alchemic Drive. I'm gonna really have to go back and research that a little better. Oh crap! Crap! I think I just screwed up. Down. Okay. Woo! Okay, where'd he go?
Target of operation cleared.
Oh.
System switched to normal mode.
So apparently I got those two games backwards. Remote Control Dandy and Robot Alchemic Drive. Okay. Yeah. I still got those games written down. I want to keep those particular suggestions on hand and in mind, because more games, always good games. Because for a few months before starting this stream, I was actually kind of entertaining the idea of, picking up a few more mecha titles, since there still don't seem to be enough in the States, but there are a few, more than I really thought of. I'm going to go on ahead and save. And there's probably mail I missed from last week, but whatever. I was entertaining the idea of doing a Mecha Monday stream along with the weekend streams, but then I realized Team 4-Star, the stream group that I watch a lot of, you know them, of course, they do streams on Mondays. And up until recently, they did them in the same time slot that I would normally be streaming on Mondays. So, yeah, that was kind of out. But yeah, for the time being, I'm going to put the Mecha Monday thing on hold, though I do want to find more mecha games for in the future when I do reinvestigate the idea. Cause yeah, I just can't help but think that would be fun to spotlight for any potential viewers more mecha games that haven't seen a lot of press, or some of the ones that have, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a day for it. Yeah. But if Team 4-Star's streaming on Mondays, they're like one of the big stream groups, and I do tend to watch them, so really don't want to have that crossover, so I would have to investigate a different time. Alright, now, I don't know how many of these mail messages are from this week, or from last week, because I can't remember if I read everything last time. Okay. Well, well, well. I never imagined that you would come back alive. It seems that I underestimated you. Well, you certainly showed me. We shall meet again. I look forward to that day. I'm pretty sure that is from last week. And next mail? This incident has come to be a significant one. When those biological weapons began overflowing onto the streets, the Murakumo side skillfully manipulated public opinion to make it all seem to be the responsibility of Chrome. I just skipped past half of it. The tide can no longer be halted. Chrome will probably be destroyed, even if you do not do them in yourself. But they are not dead yet. It is said that nothing is more dangerous than a wounded animal. I'll be in touch. Alright. Oh, I already saved. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned a good pull there. Resident Evil. I have not played enough of that series. I've played the first 3. Never did complete the first one, but 2 I had almost down to speed running at one point when I was a kid. 3, didn't play enough of it. So 4. You mentioned 4. I didn't know there was a making of, any making of material on it. So, separate disc, yeah, but that'd be nice to look up sometime. Okie dokie. Let's see. I seem to recall Devil May Cry being spawned from some offshoot of Resident Evil. Like it was going to be a spin-off title, and then it kind of grew into its own from there. I am not as well versed on my gaming history as I'd like to be. I've got to look that up. Okay. And receiving that message, it is said that Nintendo has turned the public opinion into thinking Sega 32X damages your Genesis games. Interestingly enough, I used to work sort of selling video games under the table job at the area flea market, and I got my hands on a 32X one time, and for reasons probably not the same ones, I was worried about the Genesis's durability inserting the 32X in there, but wasn't worried that it would actually really damage it. And thanks for confirming the Devil May Cry thing. Okay. But, yeah, that flea market job, it was easy, but, you know, didn't get paid much for it because it wasn't like a tax-paying kind of job. It was like a favor for a friend thing. Make a little bit extra scratch on the weekends. Lasted for about a year. I don't miss it. My boss was a turd. Okay. Is this the... Which mission did I start? Okay, good. Exterminate organisms. Okay. Okay. Alright, forget the... Okay. Oh, boy. Forget everything I just said for the past 2 minutes. I am still waking up. Funny thing, I'm still feeling the effects of yesterday. I didn't get a lot of sleep. That's like my running thing, though. I don't ever get a lot of sleep. Okay. Someone has entered our lab and destroyed a test vat. The lab is now overflowing with biological weapons. The worst problem is the queen organisms are able to reproduce. Upon leaving the test vat, the cell tissue becomes activated and begins reproducing in no time. Oh god, that one on the right, why does it remind me of Jar Jar Binks so bad? I mean, it's like some horrible six-legged Gungan head creature to me. I don't know. Okay. If it has already begun reproducing, there may be an overwhelming number of them. If so, they're certain to try to break open the outside wall sooner or later and escape to the outside. We can deal with the small types later, so your target is only the 4 queen organisms. Be sure to bring down all of the beasts. Okay, I'm assuming they're using the term beasts to refer to the queens, otherwise I'm getting mixed signals. Okay. Oh god, this is that labyrinth stage, isn't it? Oh. Well, maybe I can get through with this one a little quicker than I did last time. Because I know they reuse maps. They kind of have to, but this stage... Okay.
Main system engaging.
Thankfully,
combat mode.
I got more bullets. Lots more bullets. I mean, 3 guns full of them. And limited dash ability.
Don't worry about the small ones. Aim for the big ones that are able to reproduce.
Also, at some point, I probably need to get ahead with like a bioscanner or FCS if that doesn't work. Because I don't want to get a radar, because that would take away one of my guns. And as we all know, more guns equals better. It's like, forget about the whole overweight thing. More guns is always better. Yeah. Yeah. Briefly, though, the... oh, whoa. Not even paying enough attention. Briefly, though, the SNES Classic thing, I was lucky to... Oh, where's it? Actually get my hands on one. And it kind of coincides with the whole me not getting enough sleep thing. Because that night, it's like I knew the thing was coming out. But, you know, it doesn't have a lot of games on there that I really, really wanted. A few that I did. Yoshi's Island, always great. But, I was thinking to myself, yeah, maybe I'll just get it online at some point after the scalpers have had their fun. Well, that night I couldn't sleep. So, sitting in bed like midnight, I just get bored, say to heck with it. 2 o'clock in the morning, I decided to just stop laying there. Walk out to Walmart, because Walmart's actually that close to me. You know, wanted to get something to eat, figured... You know, what's the worst that could happen? because that always turns out well. Well, I mean, I figured I'd check on the thing's status, see if they had any left, and get something to eat one way or the other, so it wouldn't be a loss either way. Apparently, upon talking to some of the staff at Walmart, there had been a line there at midnight, though thankfully a short one. But I get there, and there's people just orbiting the electronics section. Otherwise, the store's a ghost town. Ah, you noticed how trigger happy I am. Oh, I know, it's kind of cringy. Part of the reason I keep shooting is because while I am playing these streams, I don't have the live game audio going into my ears. The audio I have is the audio that is coming from my streaming PC from OBS. Please tell me as I don't have to zoom out too far. So OBS's audio has a bit of a delay. I don't have the internet, the actual stream going into my ear, because that would be like 30 seconds before I heard anything. But OBS, there's a bit of a delay. So if I'm not paying enough attention to the pyrotechnics coming out of enemies, I tend to shoot a little bit longer than I should. And that wastes ammo, so... like that. So if you ever see me just shooting for an inordinate amount of time beyond something's life, that's probably why. Or at least a large part of why. Because these don't take a lot of bullets, thankfully. Ah! Don't worry about the small fry, it said. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, me having my headphones hooked up to my streaming PC, while it does delay a bit of valuable input from the game, it is also, if my PC decides to crash, an almost instant indicator of problems. So I lose a bit of input on games, and for stuff that's going to require positional audio, it's going to screw me over in the long run, but yeah, I can kind of restart my computer that much faster if the thing shuts down. Which shouldn't be a problem, hopefully, because the new fans, they've been doing work. Okay. They are both case fans, though. And they really need to be CPU fans. I just got them really, really cheap and put them to use anyway. Okay. I don't think I'm as lost on this one this time. What time is it? Holy cow, it's already a half hour in almost. Okay, let's see, where am I? Okay, another good one. Thank you for that, King Thunder. That Shenmue was supposed to be intended for Sega Saturn. I did not know that. Given how the Saturn kind of ended... Oh, I'm not paying enough attention to the map. Yeah, given how the Saturn went out, I'm not terribly surprised by that fact, but I guess it's kind of a good thing that it did go to the Dreamcast so that they could put so much more content into it, because it was such a great game at the time, and sadly I've never played it, and with Shenmue 3 being in development, I kind of want to go back and pick those two up, Shenmue 1 and 2. Something to add to the Dreamcast library. Okay. Okay. And you ask a good question, why I only stream for an hour. Couple reasons. One, I'm a very, very antisocial person by nature. You hear me talk more in 10 minutes than I do in like 3 hours most days. The streaming thing, I wasn't sure if it was something I'd be able to continue for that very reason, because I have a lot of problems talking to people. And so you'll notice when I'm going quiet, I'm actually trying to think of something to talk about. I'm a really bad conversationalist. So that's part of the reason, is that I didn't know if I would really be able to continue, because I don't want to just be playing games with a lot of dead air. I mean, I want to find things to talk about during the stream, and that's some of the stuff I kind of poke around with during the week. You know, checking websites, news websites, gaming news, and, you know, things like that. I've always been of the opinion that a good game stream isn't just about the game. Nintendo seems to not understand the point of streaming, that it's more than just the games. It's a social experience. It's talking about things. It's talking to your viewers and listeners. And, And the other reason is I go to bed super early. My time zone, I start 4 o'clock on the streams. 5 o'clock I end the stream. 6, I am usually going to bed because I have to wake up super early most days. Which is one of the reasons I do this on the weekend, because I'm off every other weekend. Off of work. So I don't always have to wake up that early, and every other weekend there's a chance I might go a little bit longer and not have to worry about it. But, yeah, with the hour streams, I don't have to worry so much about dead air, and I can get to bed on time and not burn myself out on streaming or trying to find things to talk about. Yeah. And I do appreciate the conversation on old games and stuff. I've always been into this stuff. I never remember enough of the well, I don't want to say lore behind the video games, but yeah, basically that. Oh wow, what the Die, you evil Gungan scum! Urgh. Wasn't episode 1 bad enough for you? Ah! Oh, awesome.
Target of operation cleared.
So Shenmue 2 never came out. See, that right there is an example of me not knowing enough of the background stuff. So if Shenmue 2 never came out... But I still do want a Dreamcast. I do still want to check out some titles. I would love to play the first Soul Calibur on its native console, not the 360 arcade thing. That D-pad is excruciatingly bad. I've been meaning to look up a different controller for that very reason. Oh my god, I hate that D-pad. I got that SNES Classic. I didn't remember how rough Super Nintendo controllers are. They stick way further out of the controllers than PS D-pads. PlayStation D-pads are just, in my opinion, better. But the SNES D-pad puts the 360's little teeter-totter disc thing to shame. Okay. But yeah. And on the note of the SNES Classic, while I'm thinking about it, because it's going to be on my mind on and off throughout the weekend, it's already been determined that it's probably pretty hackable because it's using the same hardware as its predecessor, the NES Classic. I'm like, nice. Oh, I need new legs. See if I can remember which ones I had. I'm going to go on ahead and save, because save scumming is probably going to be a thing. So yeah, if the SNES Classic is as hackable as the NES Classic reportedly was, I'm going to have to remember that, because... see, I'm not a big fan of piracy, but if I already own a copy of like an NES game or something, or an SNES game, I'm going to download a backup in a heartbeat, because it just seems absolutely asinine that those consoles are completely unexpandable, and expecting gamers to pay 20 times for content they already own. Never agreed with that. So I want to get a Super Nintendo copy of Street Fighter Alpha 2. That was one of my favorite games on that system. There's a long story behind that here, which I'll probably get into eventually. Go into the shop. Wow, I'm not focusing. Yeah. But, yeah. And really the only reason I bought the SNES Classic was because there were several games on there that I did want, and Star Fox 2. And the price was decent. Any more than $100, there's no way I would have just bought an original SNES. Yeah, and the SNES... SNES, I'm sure someone will glom onto that somewhere. But the SNES Classic, it does not have a working cartridge port. Neither of the classic systems do. They really should have made use of that for like a SD card thing. Where was it? Is this the one? I think that's the one. But yeah, they really should have made use of it so that you could expand the library greatly, because it was... Oh, no. Yeah, I'll go with this one. Being able, say, to buy games online and put them on an SD card and pop them in there, yeah, I could see why they would freak out about that. And it's like, oh no, it's going to start SNES piracy. Except for the fact that it's not, because that's already been a thing, so that's a stupid issue. They should have used the cartridge slots for expandability. And then the things would have immense value. I mean, so I'd really rather have an SNES. It's like my favorite console, I think, ever. Aside from the PS2. Where's the legs? Where are you at? I think those are the ones I had. I'll have to pop into my old save just to be sure. And is the booster there? Ah, good. But yeah. Super Nintendo, yeah. Street Fighter Alpha 2. I don't remember the first game that I actually bought for that system. The first game that I played for it came with the bundle. It was the Killer Instinct bundle. I loved that game. No, I didn't know that TurboGrafx-16's games came on cards. And I hate to just kind of... I hate to sound like I'm echoing the things that you're saying. It's kind of awkward. I'm gonna have to think of a better way to shout that out in the future. But yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I've never actually seen a TurboGrafx-16 though, in person, and I don't remember any images of it right hand. There are several consoles that I haven't had much experience with. It's one of the ones I've had the least. And I hear it was a really good system. But yeah. But Street Fighter Alpha 2. I'm not even the one who bought that game. My brother bought it at the same time that I bought Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And funny thing about that, I liked Alpha 2 more. I loved Ultimate MK3. I mean, how many kids back in the 90s wouldn't? It had ridiculous amounts of gore, and, you know, 90s kids stuff was all aimed at gore. I mean, look at Creepy Crawlers, Mummies Alive, I don't know, all sorts of the stuff. They marketed a lot of young boys' toys as like gore fests. But after a while, Chris got tired of Street Fighter Alpha 2 and noticed, I guess, that I was playing it a lot more. I had like a 3-liter of orange soda. I'm not reading this mission text again because I already did it. But yeah, I had like a 3-liter of orange soda. I had half of it maybe left, a little bit less. He traded the game to me for that. So naturally, I jumped on it. And after that point, I played enough of it where I could beat the game on like 6 out of 8 stars difficulty pretty easily. Got almost all the way through 7 and got stonewalled on Sagat. I was playing Guy. But yeah, that's probably my favorite fighting game of all time. Even though I will readily and quickly admit that not only are there better fighting games, but there are better versions of that game. But yeah, that is a game that I would still, not just even for nostalgia purposes, pay like $60 for. Anything past that, though, no.
Main system engaging combat mode.
I'm not playing fast and loose with my wallet. That's another one of the points of this stream. Oh. I probably should have taken off one of the chain guns. Ooh. Oh, whoa, what the? Off. Off. I probably should have taken off both of these chain guns. Whatever. Moving on. I am going to fail this mission so hard. Let's see how it goes. I am totally in the wrong place, aren't I? Okay, where am I? Oh, right. So dumb. Let's do this. I keep forgetting that you can shoot down some of the doors in this. Oh. This is where I needed those heavyweight parts. Nope, ain't got no time for no robot bugs. Or going in circles. Okay, where am I? Oh, I am so gonna... I'm gonna get cooked here. Oh, I passed the door. Okay, gotta pay more attention to this map. Left, right. Okay. Alright. Green tea's not kicking in fast enough. And I can't just sit here. Oh, did I miss that? I missed it again. Back! It's on the... I'm looking at the wrong level of the map, aren't I? Oh boy. You know what? Nope. Backing up, backing out. Oh. See, this is what kills me on this mission and some of the other missions here, is that I just feel like I'm missing something really obvious. And labyrinth missions are really bad about that. I have my horrible sense of direction, and I just can't quite reconcile what... Oh boy. Alright, where am I? Oh my god, now I know what it feels like to be Team 4-Star playing Yoshi's Island, because I'm seeing them play that game, and I'm looking at all the things that they're missing or doing wrong, and, well, the shoe is on the other foot. Okay. Yeah, I know there's 5 bombs I have to plant. I'm just trying to figure out where. I feel like there should be an obvious point where I'm supposed to put each one of them. And I'm not seeing on the map or with my eyes where to put them. Alright. Alright. See, I'm sitting here trying to walk through glass because I'm trying to figure this out. This is... I don't want to have to go to a guide. I'm going to feel like a jerk if I do. Alright, come on. Alright. Bombs in the base. Okay. Thankfully, this isn't ticking down quickly. Okay, what am I missing? Okay. I'm almost out of the hot zone. Alright. Is there an other entry point that I'm... like, over there, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't blame anyone for being angry if I were to use a guide, but either way, I'd just be angry at myself, because yeah, I don't blame anyone who ever uses a guide, because sometimes there's times you gotta look things up. But I always feel like a jerk if I miss something, like if it's something that seems extremely obvious. And here, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Okay. Ooh boy. More of the pink mist. Having Halo flashbacks. Ugh. Fear of the pink mist. Ah. You know what? No. I'm getting chewed up by those. Alright, where's my objective? Alright. Check the map. Okay. Let's see my end roll. Okay, so long story short, I'm thinking I just went into the wrong building.
Detonation device planted. 4 remaining.
Oh boy. Move! Now let's see if I can figure out where the rest of the goods go. Don't turn. Thanos. See, that's making me want to fire up Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Which, sadly, I don't have an original PS2 copy of. Which, from my understanding, there's like 2 of them. I looked it up on a website once. I was kind of browsing emulation site. I wanted to look for ideas of games to actually buy. I like to browse emulation sites, though. I'm not like a fan of piracy per se, but you know, I do like to look at them, and they list them a lot more neatly than a lot of other sites because they're listing them for download, not for like reviews and stuff. And my version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I don't have a PS2 one. I've got it on 360. Ooh, I'm gone. Okay. You mentioned Captain Janeway of Star Trek Voyager, as I recall. I'm not as familiar with that franchise as I'd like to be, but when I say like to be, I'm not sure I actually want to watch that franchise. Ooh, where am I at? Which ones did I didn't just blitz past one that I needed to. Whatever. Onward and upward. Yeah, I'm familiar with Captain Janeway. I hear, I've heard people talking down about her as captain in the past. A friend of mine, his dad's not really a big fan. I don't really see much of a problem with her. My problem with this series was really just one episode. And oh, where is it? That episode, apparently the Star Trek Voyager, the Voyager, oh my god, I'm not thinking. The Voyager had gotten tangled up somehow in like an alternate reality where it was phasing through on top of another Voyager from an almost identical reality. And I don't remember how it went down, because I watched this when I was like a little kid, back when, you know, I don't know if I don't know if UPN was already CW yet, but it was on that channel. And well, anyway, they resolved a problem in that episode. They killed the character Paris off, and they replaced him with the alternate version of him from the other dimension, which was basically the exact same character. I'm like, really, guys? You kill a character off for, like... Killing a character off in something is generally supposed to add gravity. If it's like a major player, and you kill him off, he's not supposed to just... It's like, oh, we killed him, but we just can't eat him back into existence. So, that episode colors a bit of my perception of the series, because that was, in my opinion, genuinely bad. But I can't say I've watched a lot of Voyager, though, to really judge much of it. And I did like that Doctor. I liked the Doctor, he was pretty cool. And aside from Paris, I think the only other characters in he and Janeway whose names I can remember is that Chakotay guy. Okay, I have gotten... Oh, I don't think I'm going to reach what was it? Com 1. I got... Oh no, I think I've already skipped one. Or... Alright. It's time for danger. I've hit comms 1, 3, 5, and 4. And I think I see where 2 is going to be. And here's where the danger comes in, because it's backtracking time. I don't know why, but this whole time that I'm boosting, all I can think of is the Nyan Cat theme. No. Ah! No, 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 no! I need those health points to live! Ah! Please tell me I didn't screw up. Alright, I am where I intended to go. Oh no! I can't believe I just did that! Serpentine! There's no way I'm winning this now.
Defenses damaged. Halting
I'm trying to
combat
remember
and
how many
returning to the
captains of Star Trek that I actually recall, because I've never been the biggest Star Trek guy, admittedly. I've only watched like 6 episodes of Classic, and I'm like, yeah, no thanks. But I love the original movies, and I've seen like Star Trek Generations and maybe one or the other ones with Picard in it. And after that, I kind of stopped watching Star Trek stuff until J.J. Abrams got his hands on it. Oh boy. I want to see how much money I have. I missed that. Ooh. Deep cuts. Is that mission still there? Because if it's still there, I'm going to give it another shot. Oh, no, it's not. Oh well. I'll live without it. But yeah, I can't speak for the new Star Trek movies really in context of the old ones. I'm not one of those kind of fans that's like gonna freak out about drastic changes, but I really loved the new ones. They had a lot more of a actiony feel to me. I mean, than the older stuff did. And there was action in the old stuff, but classic Star Trek and Star Trek in general always had kind of more nautical feel to me, I want to say. The battles in a lot of space stuff, you see these like fast-paced battles with a lot of dogfighting. Star Trek always struck me as more of like naval battles, yeah. Which I guess has its merits, but you know, just wasn't so much my thing. Maybe that's the point. Maybe I'm just like kind of obtuse, didn't notice it anywhere near where I should have. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to try this one last mission before I go. And as you mentioned this, I will go ahead and do that. And ask anyone who watches this in the future if you've heard of a Star Trek Voyager and a Starfleet captain by the name of Janeway. If you haven't, look her up. I hear interesting things aside from the stuff that I watched. Hope I'm reading out the right thing there that you're pointing to. Okay. Okay. Mission text. We just got a terrifying communique from the terrorist group Imminent Storm. They said that they are occupying the air cleaner above Isaac City. Oh no. So this is where Thanos' pink fart gas attack would probably come in. Okay. This unit takes air from above ground, cleans it, and sends it down into the underground city. It is literally the city's lifeline. Their demands are for the immediate dismantling of Murakumo Millennium, who they say has become the ringleader of social decay. Their false accusations are brash. Their recent activities have been a string of failures thanks to you Ravens. This is a desperate act of desperate men willing to die with honor. Okay, I question their use of the term honor there because they're holding a city for ransom. Eliminate them quickly. Note that the air cleaner has an extremely complex structure due to repeated retrofits with the expansion of the underground city. Be careful. Okay, the verticality of this map has me questioning whether or not I should put my tank treads back on. So I'm going to do it anyway. Because I want to be able to use my chain guns without just being a lump sitting on the ground. Okie dokie. So instead I'll be a lump rolling across the ground. Like a tribble or something. Now there's an episode... I'm going to sooner or later have to go back to classic Star Trek and look up some of those recommended episodes, like that one where Spock's, like, the Vulcan mating season thing, because I hear that one was crazy. Wouldn't mind looking up Khan's first appearance, and I want to see the trouble with Tribbles firsthand.
Main system
Okay.
engaging combat mode.
I want to be stuck in Star Trek mode here for a moment. And I say I'm not like the biggest fan of Star Trek. It's good stuff, but you know, hasn't really... Oh. I'm looking right by bombs. Oh. And what I have seen of Star Trek, though, they do have advantages over Star Wars, in my opinion. And specifically...
Raven, Lord have
Oh, wow.
mercy. We found that there
advantage in question that I'm talking about is it's really an opinion. Don't like paying me for it. Uh, is that oh, what am I? Where's all the oh, what am I getting hit by? Oh, these guys. Races in Star Wars, you can't shake a stick without hitting like 30 of them. And while there are a good number of races in Star Trek, okay, I just walked into a blender here. The races in Star Trek always got introduced to me a lot more slowly than Star Wars. So, and in the case of Star Trek, they can usually be, a lot of them can be summed up with like an analog out of high fantasy, you know. Klingons, they always came across as like space orcs to me. Vulcans like space elves. God, was it the Ferengi maybe? I think it's the Ferengi that were like, that kind of came off as space goblins. Maybe I'm being too reductive here, but the space orc and space elf thing, that's staying with me. I don't care what anyone says. They are straight up space elves and space orcs. I'm totally fine with that. I think that's cool. Okay, what am I doing? Aside from blocking the entire camera. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I should have put those legs back on. Boosting this thing. Whoa! And there's something I wasn't expecting. The border lines to be reachable from within such a confined space. Oh boy. Bad thing about this AC, weight limit's awful. In spite of the treads, I've got it just loaded down and I can't get a better generator. Oh. Alright, let's see. And let's see. Back this way. Oh, hello. See, I'm trying to think. Star Trek stuff. So, I've only seen the first two of J.J. Abrams' run. I haven't seen the third one, Star Trek Beyond, yet. Is that Star Trek Beyond? And I want to, because anything with Idris Elba in it has my attention. And him as a Klingon, it's like, okay, sign me up. Where am I? Ah! Okay. Okay, I should say almost anything with Idris Elba in it, because as it turns out, he was in a Ghost Rider movie. He's in that second Ghost Rider. That was not a glamour job. Oh, where's he at? Saw him. Oh boy. I love my bad movies. Those Ghost Rider movies, I like the first one. The second one, I'm like, really? We're treading the whole Satan has a son, and that plot line just seems kind of meh, but okay. But, you know, if it weren't for one scene in particular, that movie would probably have been a write-off for me. And that scene was Ghost Rider urinating flames. I know it was part of the kid's imagination, but, you know, that movie right there, that's Nick Cage being Nick Cage. And whoever wrote that scene, thank you. I actually kind of am going to have to go back to that movie because I want to make that into a wallpaper now. Oh, wow. I am... I feel like a mouse in a maze right now. What am I missing? Ah. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, hello. Yeah. And thank you for reminding me about that game over screen for total distortion. Sooner or later, I want to set up like a browser source for OBS. Check out some of these things maybe on stream. That might not happen for a while, though, because I'm really just getting comfortable with what I have. But I will be checking that out, because I actually have that pinned in. I've got a little piece of paper right next to me with notes. Oh, wow. Where am I? I am totally missing something? Okay. This hide-and-seek nonsense. I really hope this is a kill all enemies mission because, yeah, that's kind of what I'm sticking to. Ah! You turd! Mm. Oh, man. But wait, there's more. Okay. Okay, I have officially hit overtime, and I'm going to stick with it until either A, I finish this mission, B, I run out of ammo, or C, I fall asleep trying to finish this mission, or run out of ammo. Okay, and I will totally be streaming tomorrow, thank you, because, yeah, tomorrow, last week, I played Xbox Live Arcade game N Plus on stream, and I kind of got an itch to play more of that now. Okay, where's that go? So I will probably play a bit more of that on stream, because I don't play enough puzzle games, and a puzzle platformer, not enough of those around. Okay. Oh, you'd almost swear from the way I sound that this is actually taking physical effort to do. Okay. There are so many greats. Okay. Metal Gear Solid. If Solid Snake were like... If there were a hell specifically for Solid Snake, this level would be it. This would be Solid Snake's hell. It'd just be like crawling around in grates, dealing with like those horrible murderous hamsters or poison hamsters or whatever from one of the games. I already forgot which one. Oh no. And yeah, this is Solid Snake's hell. Oh boy. Okay, in just a second, I'm going to pause this, go to the map, and actually really look at it, because I just feel like I should be going further down. Like, a lot further down. Or up. Okay, where? This tangle of pipes. Yes, this and no cardboard boxes. Thank you. That would be Snake's hell. Oh, man. Sneaking around in vents. Yeah, I just... Well, there was that time he was over Meryl's cell, so you do have a point. He does love sneaking around in vents, and he'd probably love that one in particular. Ugh. Now, there's a game I haven't played in far too long, but TFS doing their retrospective of it, I'm going to let that one cool down for a little while. Yeah. Oh. Come on. All I can do is think of those giant heads in Rick and Morty. Show me what you've got! What you've got! Show it to me! Oh, come on. It's a dead end. Metal Gear! Okay, what? Oh. Oh, man. Okay, and this is a point where I think I'm going to have to find some, like, elevator music or something to play. Okay, where was I? Down? Okay. Does this tunnel dead end or go further down? Let's see that. There's a place that has it down. But how do I get to it? So much green! Oh my god, I hate this map. Oh man. Okay. This is gonna... Okay. Oh, that's progress. Oh, look, a dude I can kill. Oh. Sigand. Oh man, now you're making me want to play Metal Gear Solid 3 again. Am I even hitting that? Okay. Up. Oh no. This is the best level. Oh. Yeah, I really need some elevator music. I don't know that I could compose any appropriately elevatory enough stuff. Oh. That little jingle I have at the start of the stream, I've already mentioned in past videos that I made it on the website beepbox.co. I don't know what it is about that, but I've gone back to that website so many times. I think in the past week, I have made more music than my entire life. So I really love that site. And I'm going to have to... Ooh. Oh, thank God. Are you dead yet? Stop. Stop. Sit. I mean, I know the mission objective's like right here, but yeah.
Tank recovered.
And now there's another track I need, the Hallelujah Chorus.
Target of operation cleared. System switched to normal mode.
Oh, wow. Threequels. Yeah, I'm going to go and head out on that note. You bring up a good point that sequels, so much sequelitis in the world, so many bad second parts to movies, and people saying that part 3s of things, video games and movies. Anyone who says part 3 is the worst, no. Metal Gear Solid 3 was epic. You bring up 3 good examples right there. Devil May Cry 3, Armored Core 3 was like my favorite one that I've played. Super Mario Brothers 3, that was excellent. Trying to think of some other examples. I want to say Blade Trinity, but that's just kind of an opinion. I like that movie. I hear it got a lot of crap. The second one was my least favorite in the series with his weird split jaw dudes and the whole Jared Novak and what's it? Mega Man X3, thank you. Wow. I wouldn't have thought of that one, but that's a series I haven't played more than like the first one, and it's a reason I'm glad I got the SNES Classic, because it has the first one. And I'm going to be blundering through that one at some point. Maybe not on stream, though. Probably not on stream. Wait, no. It's a Capcom game. Yeah, probably on stream at some point. Tekken 3. Oh my god, thank you. The third Ratchet and Clank game, Up Your Arsenal. It's great just for the title. I love dumb jokes like that. Resident Evil 3. Yeah. For that wonderfully memorable, quotable character Nemesis. And his amazing lines like stars and stars. Yeah, threequelitis. Maybe that would have saved the Mortal Kombat movies if they'd made a third one. Wait. James Raymar's Raiden. Johnny Cage dead. Okay, maybe not so much in that case. Crash Bandicoot Warped. Thank you. Yeah, that's another one. That's another great one. Ooh. Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind. 2 Skyrim and 2 Elder Scrolls games later, and people still say that's like the best one. And I need to play through it at some point. Thinking of actually having a stream day or days set up in the future of long-form RPGs. And if I do, I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to stream that one, because I've got a PC copy of it, and I'm not entirely sure I trust my PC, but whatever. Oh, man. Oh, God. You had to quote that line, King Thunder. Carlos's spicy butthole. See, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write that down. But I'm going to write that down and I'm going to look that... I'm going to turn Safe Search on and then I'm going to look that up after the stream ends. Alright, so yeah. Oh, Battlefront 3. The feels, man. It's not like I can say too soon, but you know. Oh well. But for the wrap up, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and call it at this. I'm going to be playing a bit more of Puzzle Platformer N Plus on the Xbox 360 tomorrow. And it's going to be another hour stream. Knights of the Old Republic 3. Oh my god, you're killing me here. But yeah, tomorrow probably won't run into labyrinth issues like I did with this game. My sense of direction's so bad and those maps don't help. But thank you again for tuning in. Mech Assault 3. Nightmare Creatures 3. Is there Time Splitters 3? I know there were at least 2 of them, and there was at least talk of a 3. I never paid attention to that franchise. Front Mission 3! Oh my... I'm yelling into my mic. I'm sorry. Front Mission 3. I am 6 feet away from a copy of that. How did I forget that? That's pain. That is legit pain right there. I am getting caught up in this threequelitis, so I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to kill the stream here. And hope that my PC recorded this without having a stroke to save me from downloading it. But, Jack 3. But thank you for tuning in. Hope you got some entertainment from the goofy quips and stuff. And the great suggestions. Thank you, King Thunder 365, because really, I kind of skimmed on the news stuff, so I'm a little low on conversation topics. But, I'm going to kill the stream, stop rambling, and see y'all tomorrow. So, peace. Oh, Double Dragon 3. And not that one that they released. It was like a remake like last year. See, that's Double Pain. Ooh, Double Pain, Double Dragon. There's a dumb joke in there somewhere. Right. Why am I not killing the stream yet? Later, people. Later. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. Oh my god.